Alright, so got a little story about an air condition leak. Here's the deal. So, like in 2018, around that time, the project truck, I decided to put air in it because I had done well putting it in my gray truck. And I did that in 2016. Did it one time, my gray truck, I put air in it and I was just elated. I mean, that was just an amazing thing to put air in that truck. I did it and it was done. Never had an issue, okay? Only thing I did was swapped out refrigerants at one point to the Duracool. So it's been great. I did a friend's truck. Mint, no problems. It's great. So my project truck, I did it in like 2018. Oh, and I think I went all summer and it did fine. And then like in a February of 19, got hot one day and I was in it and I cut it on, it didn't work. So I was like, well damn, done leaked out or something. Hey guys, okay, so I did like a 12-part video about air conditioning these trucks and stuff, right? Well, in one of them videos I talked about I had an old compressor. It was kind of locked up, and I was going to take it apart, see how difficult it was to take apart, see how difficult it was to do front seal and stuff. And I had it put aside, and I hadn't done it yet. Well, I know it's like February the 2nd, and it's cold in a lot of places, but here in Mississippi, it's up and down all the time. And today, it's like 72 or 3, maybe 75, and you might even want to run the AC today. Well, in my project truck, I tried that, and it wouldn't come on. There's not enough pressure in it to allow it to work. I've connected the gauges and all, and I even put a little in it yesterday. The pressure switch works, but it's doing its job. It's protecting the compressor. There's a leak somewhere. Worked great all summer, but there's a leak somewhere. It's probably in my old compressor that I thought was okay. It's probably leaking at the front seal, the shaft seal. It's probably all it is. Um, Sometimes when you do this and you pull a vacuum, it'll hold when it's pulling a vacuum, but when it's under pressure, it might actually leak. What I failed to do was install some nitrogen in there and see if it would hold, but I didn't do that. That's probably where it's leaking. So I got my UV light out because I've got dye in the system, and I looked around, and I thought that it was leaking at the front of the compressor. So hey, it's an old compressor. I'll buy a new one. So I bought a brand new one, and I put that on there and kept the old one. Jason, he's got it right now. That compressor's fine. As this story will unfold, you'll know that compressor's fine. So I thought it was the compressor. I put the new compressor on, charged everything up, and I went on about my business. That was in February. And I think around May-ish, it was low again. It didn't come on. If it's low, if you switch, it doesn't come on. It's below 40 psi in the system, because the low pressure switch in these trucks is a 40 psi switch if you get the correct one. So it wouldn't cut on, so I knew it was low, and it was hot in May, really hot. So got to looking around, and I saw the front hose, and behind the grill I saw a little leakage. So I'm pretty sure that hose was leaking around a little fitting, and I'm talking like where it's a weld joint. I had an extra one, so I put it on there, charged it up, it was good to go. I think I went a little longer, maybe June, close to July. Now July, yeah, see, it's 19. Yeah, and 19 is when the truck got painted. So somewhere in there, in June, it was leaked down again, and I think I found another leak. And this time, it was at the firewall where the suction hose comes out. So I thought, well, that's odd. Must need an O-ring. So I put an O-ring in there, fixed it. It was fine. But then I didn't use the truck a lot. It was in the shop, working on it all the time, getting it ready for paint. So even during paint, I would crank it up at least every 3 weeks, and I would run the air while it was parked just to keep everything circulating. I always did fine, at least, thought. So everything was good. Paint was finished around December. Didn't worry about air. I think, sometime later, again, now we're in 2020. It was like February, March, something. April, maybe May, I don't know. But I noticed there was another leak at the same spot. So I thought, man, that's crazy. Well, let me take it apart. Must have got the wrong O-ring or something in there. So I did another O-ring swap. It was fine for a little while. And then it lasted a week or two. Got back out there, it wouldn't cut on. Oh crap! Check it with the gauges. It was too low. So then I tried it again, another O-ring. I said, man, it's weird. I did, and then it was getting to where it was really more frequent, like it would last a week. So I put another O-ring in there, and I'm like, man, I know that I've done this O-ring, the same O-rings. I even got them marked. Like I got them marked, which ones to use. And I did it on both trucks too, my friend's truck and my other truck, and no problem. So I mean, this can't be that hard to get this O-ring situation right. So I got to where I had a piece of paper and all these O-rings. I'm like hundreds of O-rings, all different brands and sizes. Got the micrometer out. I've got an old O-ring, a stock one, and I'm trying to figure it out. Like, what am I doing wrong? Put another O-ring in there. It leaks after a week. Leaks out. So then I thought, well, maybe it's that metal low pressure line going to the evaporator, that's where it's leaking, right at the firewall. Maybe it's that line. So I replaced it. I had another one. Didn't think anything was wrong with that one, but I replaced it. Charged it up, was hoping. And then later, a week or so later, leaked out. And you can always tell it's leaking because it has a little, when it leaks out, it pulls the oil with it, and the oil has dye. Your UV light will show it, and then of course it was leaking right on, you could see it. So I would always like run my finger under the threaded part, and see if it had anything residue on my finger. And after I would fix it, I would dread doing it. But like 4 or 5 days later, I'd go check it. And if I found anything, my heart would just ache. Knew I had to get into it again. And it's not easy to work on this stuff. You have to take your parking lights out, your grill out, just to even move the hose, the metal line out to put your O-ring on. Unless you want to go the other direction with the evaporator under the dash. I don't want to do that. So I kept doing that. Now I got a new line in there, new O-rings. It's still doing it. So I was just talking to my daddy about it, and we was talking, and I just kept thinking, man, it's got to be where the evaporator, the threads are. It must be something there. Maybe the threads are cracked. I don't see how, because it's such a compression fit. I don't know how it would even have a chance to separate any kind of threads and cause a leak. But I just knew it had to be something with that. So the next time it leaked down, which wasn't too long ago, it's probably a week ago today, I got it and took it apart, took the park lights out, took the grill out, took the front bolt loose so I could pull the hose loose. I got the hose off out of the evaporator, and I'm looking. And I'm trying to get my camera down in there on my phone, mind you, and take really good photos. Try to get it to focus, try to get some light down in there, and I'm trying to take photos of the suction line in the evaporator. I'm trying to see, like, I want to take photos and then get in my phone and like pinch and zoom and like really look into it to see. I wanted like really probable cause pull that evaporator out. I had another evaporator on standby. I already made one ready. I had one, I cleaned it up, I had it ready to go, ready to insert. But I didn't really want to do it. You have to take the glove box out, you have to get up under the dash, getting too old for that. So I really wanted to be sure, so I took a lot of photos, and I would zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and check them, and I think I saw something. It started where I think I could see a little bit of a glow in some oil, like up in a crack. Is that a crack? So I'm thinking it is. I took more photos, and once I felt inside that confirmation that's a crack, I went after it. I took it out. I took it and put it on a bench, looked at it, and I wear glasses. So I put the glasses on, then I put some readers on, and I had a magnifying glass, and I was looking. Man, that's a crack. It's sure enough a crack. So I think that tightening it up, because sometimes I would tighten it up. Sometimes I would do as soon as you hand tighten it, it's what they say to do. You hand tighten it as tight as you give your hand, then you clock it a quarter, and that's tight enough. Or, 25 foot-pounds. So I'd done all that. But I think that's the difference. Sometimes it would leak quick and not quick, was how I was doing it, and it was affecting that crack. Because the O-ring was there, and sometimes I would use a fat O-ring. It would chew the O-ring up. It was so fat. It did everything. But nothing mattered because it was getting past it just enough. The crack, the way it was just getting out. So, knock on wood, I think I solved it. Put that new evaporator in there. Put everything together like I normally would. And it's been fine so far. It's been fine. Might have fixed it. I almost hate talking about stuff like this too much because, I'm afraid I'm jinxing myself. Anyway, if there's a moral to this story, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep looking, keep checking, think. Alright, I hope this has been helpful. It's just been a story. It's just been a video to put on YouTube, but it's useful in a way. Got some pictures and all in here, so anyways. Have a good one. That's a terrible ending. Alright, look. If my videos are helpful to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. I don't update weekly or anything like that, but I do it every once in a while or when something comes up. So if it's useful, just hit subscribe, like, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. All right, have a good one.